Nice.
Yep. All right, and we are live. So, hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 30, Flirty, and Not Thriving. My name is Vanessa Rain. I am 32, Canadian, and really fucking sore today. Holy shit. I've really gone through it in the last couple days. So yeah, I'm just kind of crippled up today. It's awesome. And this is my lovely co-host, Miss Ashley.
Hello, I am Miss Ashley Hoffman. I am also 32, and I am not Canadian. I am American, and I am also sore today. Also, I'm Bucky the Beaver!
Bucky!
You're fucking a beaver?
No, I'm Bucky the Beaver. Oh, God, I'm not into bestiality. No.
There's a whole thing for that.
We know.
I am not I am
David
not a furry.
told me.
I am not a furry.
David told me what's legal in my state.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah,
had a whole conversation.
He's
on
from
that.
West Virginia.
Oh!
Okay, so let's, without further ado, let's introduce our guest, Sean. Over here, this way. Yeah.
What's happening? I'm Sean. I'm 34. And if you hear guns, I promise you, it's not because I'm in danger. It's because my dad, my piece of shit dad, is outside shooting guns.
And if you don't have Sean on TikTok, you need to, because him and his piece of shit dad do a bunch of TikToks, and it's hilarious as hell. His dad just cracks me up. The shit he says, he really kind of is a piece of shit.
You know, and that concept was his own. He said, "Hey,
I love it."
He was like, "I want to show the world how I used to be when you were growing up." I was like, "Fucking let's do it."
Yeah,
let's do it.
I think that's awesome if he can like poke fun at himself, and I think it's great. It's super comical. It's fantastic. I love it. I think it's the best.
Yeah, it's going to transition to piece of shit son here soon.
I love it. Yeah, I always look forward to your TikToks. I think they're fun as shit.
We're going to talk about retirement homes and pre-planning his death.
Oh, wait, why is it that at a certain age, all of our parents just do that? They're just like, you know, I want to be cremated and we're going to talk funeral. And I'm like, no, stop planning your damn death.
I'm like, let's do it. Come on. Speed up the timeline. Let's go.
You're like, you're leaving me money, right? Isn't
there a speed force we can go through where you're not here anymore?
Can I just press the red button?
That typically means the world's destructing. This means you're gone.
Yep.
Exactly.
You're gone.
Bye.
Get her done.
Like the movie Click, fast forward.
Yes. Hell yeah. I actually wish that we could do that. They're just, some days and some people that I just want to mute, not hear them, you know. That would be fantastic, especially in the topic that I would want to talk about today, and that's relationships. There's sometimes definitely need it with some of the relationships. Fast forward, stop.
Why did I do this?
Power off.
Slow-mo.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
For those, quick kind of guys.
I'm gonna keep that comment to myself.
If he lasts 3 minutes in bed, this will give you 30.
Well, just like in that movie, he tried to fast forward, and it was just like done, and she was like,
"No, that's the director's cut, okay? Extended version."
Yeah, bad.
Yeah.
So, pet peeves in relationships. I guarantee you we all have them. I know just from speaking to the two of you that you both also have them. So Ashley, what are some of yours?
I think my biggest one is when my partner isn't listening to me. Like, I'll be talking and they're just like not even looking at me or just blank stare. And I have done this multiple times where I'll just go around the house and just be like, oh yeah, I'm talking to a wall because a wall listens to me better than my person does. And I've even gone to the extent where I went up to a wall and had a conversation with a wall like a crazy person.
Nice. Did it talk back?
No, but it listened.
Good thing.
The drugs weren't strong enough.
I didn't have enough edibles.
Damn it.
Yeah. No, I actually think I would agree. It's the whole communication, listening, definitely listening. I think one of mine would be that, yeah, you could probably be listening, but I could tell you exactly what I need, what I want, exactly. And they're like, that's a suggestion.
I'm gonna pick what I want to hear, and then I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah. And so I'm like, no. And they're like, well, I've been helping. Okay. You're helping in your way. I need you to help in my way. Like what I told you, and you still don't understand. I don't know what you want. I told you. I legitimately told you. I'm not that complicated. I'm very straightforward. I mean, I'm autistic. I say things like as is. I don't like to beat around the bush at all. So like those things. It's not a suggestion.
Which, have you ever given any of your partners a to-do list and then nothing on that to-do list ever gets done?
Yeah.
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 What are some of, I guess, what would be one of yours, Sean?
Okay,
One of
so
your pet peeves.
I'm gonna agree, but I'm gonna expand. So with you guys, with the listening to your partner thing, that's been a big one of mine. Because I mean, for women, that's one thing, but for men, it's another because there's a standard, right? Men,
Right.
up until very recently, men have been viewed as as not having feelings, not having emotions, being, and it's more culturally acceptable now for men to have feelings and emotions. And so really stepping into that and being, and trying to talk about those feelings and those emotions and like how you're processing them and handling them with your partner. That's hard, especially if your partner is conditioned or comes from a family that necessarily that's not acceptable. And so that's really fucking hard, man. My last marriage was just like that, dude. Like I'd be like, I'm feeling this, and she would get mad that I'm feeling like some kind of way. Like, are you owning my feelings, my emotions? No, let me feel the way that I'm feeling. Get over it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's just a lot of trying to play the victim, like, oh, I feel like there's something wrong, and that's usually comes from like childhood shit, like they're not being heard. And
and I'm gonna spend like with my ex, like it wasn't until something drastic happened, whether it was a fight between us or a disagreement, that's when he brought forth how he was feeling, like, oh, you made me mad, or how you treated me wasn't nice. But on any other given day, I could ask him, oh, how are you feeling? And I would just get blank stare, nothingness. So it's like, you can't expect me to validate your feelings when you're only giving me your feelings when it's bad feelings.
yeah.
Well, that, and I hate, one of my pet peeves is the statement, you can never be happy. Especially when it comes to like mental health. Like, dude, I suffer from like severe depression, anxiety, all that stuff. Hey, my name is
We're
Sean,
all in
and
the same club.
I suffer from all the above.
Hi,
I circle that D block.
I'm crazy. I'm crazy. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, and I would get hit with the "you can never be happy." Well, I can, and I am happy, but you don't catch me in those moments when I'm happy, or I don't show that I'm happy because at the time you're going through your shit. You don't need a smile. You need somebody to be there for you.
Right.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Yeah,
I'm happy
I've
when you're
definitely,
not talking to me.
I've definitely had that same one. Like I'm like Sean. I'm the last couple of years have been real shit for me, just trying to figure out everything that's been going on with me, and especially like finding out autism, having these meltdowns, and constantly depressed, stressed, anxious, high alert all the time. That it does seem like I'm not happy. There are definitely things that do make me happy, but I think especially when our partners see that we're anxious and stressed and depressed the majority of the time, it really is hard to see anything else.
Right.
Like all the good things, it's just like they're like, oh, it's going to end because they're usually going to be sad or something.
And I think, I mean, with us all being mentally ill, for lack of a better term, not that our partners or exes weren't also mentally ill, but at least mine claimed that he wasn't. But they just don't understand that or how we cope or get through things. So they just automatically, at least my exes did, they blamed my mental illness.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That and like happiness looks different for everybody else, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like some people it could be like you have a smile on your face 24/7, and if you take that smile just away to a grin, you're not happy, and that's bullshit.
Right.
For me, like my happiness, I was perfectly content behind a stove cooking. I was perfectly content behind my guitar playing. But I would not show it because that was my own. I was in the moment absorbing what was happening.
Yeah.
Right.
I completely understand that. I get that.
And where like me, I've done graphic design for many, many years. I learned it back in high school, and that's what I found passion in, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, I've worked with many people who, don't know Photoshop, don't know the process of graphic design, and they're just like, well, can you do this? Can you do that? And like I have to explain them like, oh yeah, I can, but it's not going to look right, or it's not going to do this. Or, I get so many edits that, by the time I'm done with it, it's like copy number 365. And it gets frustrating, but I still always found pleasure in it, regardless of how frustrating the client was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I get that. I mean, for me, I could be doing any sort of project, and if it just wasn't going my way for a second, I might have a little bit of a freak out. But like, I guess for me, a lot of men that I've encountered, friendships, relationships, anything, or platonic or romantic, I guess I should say, men just they want to be the knight in shining armor. They want to fix things. And so dealing with mental health and things like that, it's very hard for, I guess, especially in like mine and Ashley's position, because women and men for us, they can't get a grasp on why they can't fix us yet. And it's very frustrating for, and I guess women too, like you're trying to fix someone, you're trying to help them the best that you can. And that your efforts are just kind of, they seemingly aren't good enough, even though the person dealing with the mental health issues does actually appreciate the efforts and does see it, but it's not like we're ecstatic and going crazy like, good job, you did this. And at least that's my experiences.
But that's also if the effort is there. If there's no effort, then yeah, I'm not even gonna acknowledge you.
I used to be Captain Save-A-Ho. Sorry. and my whole like last two marriages, I've been on three. Okay, let's be real here. I'm not testing the fate on the fourth. Okay, but the last two that marriages I was in, I played Captain Save-A-Ho, and both of them had a problem. Both of them had something I felt I could fix, but like I couldn't fix myself. And so now this time around, I met somebody. She's great, whatever. And like when her and I first started talking, we were talking about different problems. And I looked at her, I said, "Look, dude, I don't need saving." I said, "I don't need you to save me. Don't try." I said, "I'm not going to try and save you. I'm not going to try. It failed before. It's going to fail now." I said, I can barely save my own goddamn self. Okay. Like, let me figure out my shit. You figure out your shit, and then we'll come together in the middle.
I agree. I think that's the way it should be. You shouldn't. It's not your job or your responsibility to fix these people. They have to be willing to and wanting to fix themselves. They want to do it for themselves, not for someone else or because of someone else. The person really has to want it. And I think especially for you, Sean, having um, three past marriages and going into a new relationship. Um, it's actually really nice. I feel like you would want someone who doesn't need fixing because you've been there, done that, and you need a change. You don't want to just keep going down the same path. And I think that's fantastic to to just be able to be separate people, work on your own shit, like you know what you have to do, and to set those boundaries right away. I think that is actually a plus and not like a pet peeve. Boundaries are fantastic, and even saying something like that is
I hated
like
boundaries. I hated the word boundaries because it was like you don't have access to me. Well, that's false. That's not true.
Yeah. Like I put boundaries up um after me and my ex split just because, you know, I have to protect myself. Yeah, he knows what he needs to know, but when it pertains to me, no, you don't need to know anything about me. We're not together, so
Hmm. One of
I
my
think.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You know, you can go.
Oh no, this is your show. I'm just here.
Okay. Well, boundaries is something that like my exes hated.
Mhm.
It's because they think it's like rules and things like, even though boundaries are set in place to protect yourself, you are more than welcome to set your boundaries. And people don't realize like boundaries are actually a good thing. And you actually do them, say them more often than what you realize.
Mhm.
Except once you call it a boundary, that sounds scarier and like more, I don't know what the word is, but it just sounds like, so I love boundaries. I think they're great. I've been trying to set them with a lot of people in my life. Um, and that's just to protect myself. So yeah, I think boundaries are great. What were you going to say, Sean?
I was gonna say I have another pet peeve when you guys are
Okay.
ready.
Yes.
Yes.
Double standards in relationships.
Mhm.
Yep.
It,
That
it
is
came in.
true.
It came in heavy in my last marriage. Little backstory. She's not gonna see this. I mean, she's not.
No. Let's be real here.
Yeah, our exes are
All
going to be
right.
watching us.
Long story short, I mean, she does try and check up on me, but long story short, um, she had two best friends. No problem. They were male. Male. One was 21. One was older than her, 40 something. I told her, I said, I have a fucking problem with that. I said, because if
Yeah.
I had female best friends, like if Vanessa and I had known each other for a while, not even a while, like I
Yep.
had known these guys long, like the same amount of time, well, at least,
Mhm.
yeah, same amount of time that she did. I
Mhm.
said, if Vanessa and I, Ashley and I, became best friends, and we were like, I was texting every day, calling every day, we were
Mhm.
going on long drives together with nobody else in the car,
Yeah, I'd
right?
have a
Like
fucking problem with that.
that would be a problem, but you can go do this and that's fine, right? So like she would go on these car rides. Later found out that the older one of the two was the one that she was fucking. It was great.
Yeah, an ex of mine had done that before
Mhm.
too. He would be out till like 4 a.m. driving around with his friend,
Mm.
and
Oh,
I even remember going out to the end of the driveway, seeing them drive by, and like he sped right up, and I was like, oh,
oh,
it was bad.
I love when my ex would use the "Oh, I'm at work." Bitch, I know you're not at work.
There was there was an instance where like so I was stay at home dad, right? She asked me to stay at home, take care of the kids, take care of the house, cook, clean, all that stuff. I had no
Yeah.
problem with it. So um
Daddy
I
daycare.
pretty much. I was taking the trash out. Our trash was in the garage because the last gets cold, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I go to put the trash in the trash can. I see his car out front. He was driving her to and from work, right?
Okay.
At the time, I didn't have a problem with it because they worked 7 minutes down the road. I
Mhm.
walk out and I look through the brick because I'm like, why is she not getting out of the car,
Mhm.
right? But she had been in there. I was sitting there for 5 fucking minutes and she hadn't gotten out. I was like, it's weird. So then, like, I go in my backyard. Backyard, I have a direct shot to the window, and she's leaned over close to him. And when she came in, she was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "One, you were in the car with him for like 10 fucking minutes. Like I'm not possessive or crazy,
Mhm.
but like you're home, you're not at work anymore. Come inside. I was like, two, you leaned in. It looked like y'all motherfuckers were kissing. No, 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 no. We weren't. Well, what were you doing that close to him? Oh, my vape pens fell. I was like, your vape pens fell for 10 minutes?
Fell on his
Man's
dick.
a nerd.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, his dick
God
is either
damn.
really, really big or you are can't get
Right?
over there. Yeah.
God damn. That the nerve though, like in front of the house. That is
Yeah.
no. Mm-mm.
Especially
Yeah.
No,
when
thank you.
there's kids involved. Like I'm one where I'm very protective of my child. I don't want people coming in and out of her life. It's not fair to her. She's still very young. She doesn't understand it. And you know, it's with her dad, it's, oh, let's meet this person and this person and that person. People I've never even heard of in the 8 years that we were together, and now all of a sudden, oh yeah, I've known him for 15 years. Funny, I've never even heard their name mentioned in the last 8 that we were together. So it's funny how you've known each other for 15 years.
Yeah.
I hate that.
And then like the kicker was I was at home being stay at home dad. The kids were old enough where we could go out on a date night, right? And
Yeah.
and they
Mhm.
could be home doing their thing. And she, I said, you have all these work functions, like you go to movies, you guys go to dinner, whatever. Why am I not able to go? Oh, because it's just work. But then I find out spouses are showing up. I'm like, why am I not able to go? And she's like, oh, because you never want to go anywhere. I said, you haven't asked me.
Yeah.
You haven't,
I hate that.
you haven't
Mhm.
fucking asked me. So then it's like, what are you telling your coworkers about me?
Right, yeah.
How are you painting me in this collage?
Mhm.
Because it sounds to me like you're painting me as a bad guy.
Oh yeah.
For me, I would want my partner there at any work
Mhm.
event. I I wouldn't want to go without it, without my partner. So that to me screams weird. I don't like that.
Well,
Um,
then on top
yeah,
of it, like we shared some apps, right? And like
yeah.
I went to Nashville and for a conference last year, and a buddy of mine and I were gonna go see a movie, and I was like, oh, we got this Regal app. I have never used it, whatever. So I get this Regal app and like I log in with her login information, and there's 2 tickets to see a fucking movie on a Sunday. And I'm like, what were you doing at the movies on a Sunday? And she's like, I wasn't. You knew where I was. I was like, no, because there was
No.
like a span of like 4 or 5 hours you were gone.
Mhm.
Uh,
Oh no, it's
God
it's a
damn.
it's a mistake on Regal's part. I was like, it's a mistake on Regal's part. I was like, they update
Uh
their app regularly. Don't bullshit a bullshitter woman. I was like, I may not be tech savvy, but I fucking know how these apps work.
They're very foolproof. You can find out pretty much anything.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
oh,
ridiculous.
It's the Regal app. I love the excuses sometimes though.
do you want to hear a good one?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so I had an ex. He was younger than me by like 6 years. And at the time, I didn't want to drink. I was trying to keep away from drugs, alcohol, everything. Um, and he had told me, I'll still pick you up, like, not pick me up because we were walking together. I'll drop by work and we'll walk back to your place. And I was like, if you're going drinking with your friends, don't even worry about it because I don't want to be around you when you're drunk.
Mhm.
And so my work, I'm starting to close up the store that I was working at, and he shows up. And I'm like, oh, I guess that means you weren't drinking. He said, no, I didn't drink, but I did go out for a bit, and I thought I'd go hang out with you. That's cool. Fast forward to getting back to my house. Keep in mind, he lived with his parents, and it was like 30 minutes away. Um, and we were sitting on the couch, and I just happened to look at him, and I see that there is a hickey on his neck. And I was like, what is that? And he was like, oh, it's nothing. I was just wrestling with Christian. And it's a dude. And I was like, dude, I was a wrestler all through school. I have never once gotten one of those marks by wrestling.
Christian was
what
doing
kind
the
of
wrong
wrestling?
thing.
I mean, it would have been more believable if he was like, "Oh yeah, I was vacuuming and I tripped and fell, and the suction went to my neck."
Right.
That's more believable.
But then after he's like getting defensive and angry, and he's just sitting there not even looking at me, and I'm like really trying to keep my cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then the motherfucker decides to get up, go to the bathroom. He's like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Motherfucker, you gave me the excuse before you saw what was on your neck. Like, you lying."
It would have been more believable if he would have said, "I got sucked into the phone booth with Doctor Who."
Yeah.
You know what?
Anything, but no, I was a wrestler, sir.
And this this guy that he was wrestling with, he had a girlfriend that was apparently there too. And I was like,
She likes to watch. She likes to watch.
I think there was another young girl there, because he had told me she was sending messages asking for pictures of his dick and how big is your dick, and and he was telling me this, and it was a girl that's actually kind of afraid of me.
Oh.
Still to this day, she tries to get on my good side, and I'm like, leave me the fuck alone, you goat cheese smelling motherfucker.
Goat cheese. Nice.
Goat
Yeah,
cheese. I don't think I would say oh, you fishy bitch.
Yeah. Oh, it was bad, but I think she was actually there because the girlfriend and that girl were actually friends. So I was like, I know what happened here. So I kicked him out, and it was midnight, and he had nowhere to go.
Sucks for him.
And his parents live half an hour away in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. Even though I'm in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, he was more in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. And
there's a lot of butt fucking going on.
Yeah, a lot of butt fucking.
So
we love a good butt fucking.
Butt fucking always. I absolutely hate when a partner sets a standard in a relationship and they don't follow it.
Yeah. You were saying double standard.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. No, like she said, no Instagram, no TikTok, or no Instagram, no Snapchat, because those are very bad apps and you can get distracted.
Okay, I will argue that that's Snapchat and Instagram. I personally, so regardless of what I do, I don't want my partner to be following bitches like me.
It's
you have a profession though, you know.
Yeah. I know. And so I'm kind of a hypocrite, so I'm double standard. I can do that, but I don't want you following because that might make me jealous. And I don't really want to be jealous. I don't like to be jealous. So for me, in that way, just if you've already got the half naked girls, just be respectful and delete it. If your partner is uncomfortable with something, you really should try your best to do it within reason.
What about a healthy balance of half naked dudes?
Oh, but I don't so if I'm in a relationship, I actually don't see any other dudes.
Talking about him.
Yeah. He can. He wants to.
There's a healthy balance.
I would laugh, honestly.
It's an art form.
I've dated a couple bisexual men. 10 out of 10 do not recommend. 10
you know what? I think it's just
do not.
I think it's fun, when men do have crushes on completely straight men, but having a dude crush, we have women crushes, and you know, yeah. A lot of people seem to love Ryan Reynolds, and people are crazy. I'm not into the Ryan Reynolds thing,
but
Tom Hardy.
At least
I know I'm more of Jason Momoa,
Channing Tatum.
No! Do you want to know why? Because Shanna ruined him for me. Because his lips and his face all blend, it's just and she kept calling him jizz lips. And as soon as you look at his pictures, his lips are so light, it looks like jizz lips.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, at least the few bisexual men that I've been with, they're not so much having man crushes. They're more obsessed with pegging. And it's just something I didn't want to do and didn't want to try, but they kind of pressure. I never did it, but they would pressure and pressure and pressure, and I'm like, dude, I don't want to fucking do it.
No, my
Yeah,
asshole's next to
that is definitely something you have to consider when you're like even dating any bisexual man, woman, anything.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's really something you need to consider because
Mhm.
everyone has their own things. And I highly believe that with sex, you should be completely open.
Yeah.
You know, try anything once. You don't
Mhm.
know if you don't like it if you don't try, right?
Okay.
And so yeah, I mean, I've also been asked to peg an ex, and I did because at that point I was like, yeah, I'm making my bitch, you know, like just getting really stupid with it, right? But like for the majority of the men that I have dated, every single one of them are like, don't look at my butthole, don't go near my butthole. It's exit only. And
I mean, here's my theory because I'm a theologian of sorts.
okay.
You don't shit where you eat, right? So
Yeah.
you don't eat where you shit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you wouldn't plug up a spigot with a thumb. So you don't do it to me, god damn it.
And it's like for me, like I was never opposed to it, but like the more you bring it up, the more I'm turned off by it, and the more I'm gonna push back and be like, no.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
We're not finger popping each other's assholes here.
And like, I mean, Vanessa knows some things about me, and I don't say no to much.
No, because some of those things, like
Vanessa hasn't even done.
The power of the people.
Power of the people.
All right. All right. I'm gonna turn my volume down here. I've got a mute button for a reason.
right? Fuck.
Oh,
God damn. But yeah,
shit.
it's I do think though, be open. There's just some things I know that are not possible with my own body that I will not ever do. That's that. You know what?
Going back to the Snapchat and IG thing.
Yeah.
Which is why I brought it up. She one day I was plugging her phone in, she fell asleep, she left it, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be nice, plug it in. I plugged it in. Snapchat pops up after she had told me. Didn't know Snapchat, no Instagram because there's hoes. And I was like, all right, okay. All right, so with the iPhone you pop up and it's got the notification.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it doesn't tell you right away, but it pops up. And so I'm looking, and I was like, Snapchat? Who the fuck is Chad? I don't know, goddamn Chad. So I click on, dude, 15 messages, 15 different conversations. One being her ex-husband that she cheated on me with. Or that cheated on him with me, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
I found this out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm scrolling through all these messages, dude, and I'm like, no way, dude, because it's not just like, hey, how you doing? It's hey, you want to see my titties? Boom.
I thought you were gonna say you opened it and a big dick just
honestly, that
popped
was my
you right
thought.
in the face.
Yeah,
I was waiting here and a big old dick.
Big old dick.
Right in the forehead.
Right. It comes out of the phone and starts slapping you on the forehead.
Yeah. So then I confronted her about it, whatever. She said I got rid of it. I was like, all right, fine. A few months later, I had a suspicion. The suspicions pop in your stomach. And I'm like, oh, went through, and I know I shouldn't have done it, but I went through the phone, but I knew not to look at apps because you can get rid of apps.
Yep.
I looked at the pictures, and I looked at the pictures in the information tab. It tells you what app it was used on, and what time and date it was saved on.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, like, there was naked pictures of her on Snapchat, like from Snapchat, from Instagram, at times and dates where she was literally right behind me on the couch
shit.
in our bathroom when she was taking a fucking a bath. And I called her out on it, and she's like, "Oh, I just, women get self conscious." Is like, no, don't play that bullshit with me. You know how self conscious and lack of self conscious you are. So like, we're not playing these games. Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, I'm fine with people having social media.
Mhm.
I'm fine, but I don't know won't hurt me. Like, go look at it, this shit, whatever. But like the following, I would say no. Everything else, like have your social medias. Do talk to your friends. I don't give a shit if it's male or female. Um, I think all of my relationships have had close female friends, and that's totally cool because they came before me, and if things are to end, they'll come after me. Like they'll still be there. I
Mhm.
think I think having those relationships totally fine as long as it is actually just friendship and nothing sinister going on. But
Mhm.
Like
I do
sacrificing
think,
babies
like,
to
yeah,
Satan.
I would say what?
Like sacrificing babies to Satan, sinister.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
No,
And
Yeah,
she
okay,
would
my
get.
computer froze for a second and I was like, wait, what?
Huh?
I thought I
No.
heard like death and Satan and I was like, got really excited.
But no, and then she would get mad that like women on my TikTok would private message me, and I'm like, you want to see the messages? Here you go. I was like, I can't stop these women from messaging me.
Yeah,
I was like,
Right.
you want what do you want me to say? Don't message me. They make their own fucking. They do what they want.
Oh yeah.
yeah, you just ignore it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's
I
in
mean,
a healthy relationship, like if
mhm.
obviously we're all self-conscious and oh well you're talking to this person or that person or whatever. But if it's a healthy relationship, there is that boundary of, oh yeah, if you're a man, yeah, women can message me. It's the response that ultimately changes it.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you're just responding, oh hey, cool, thanks. Yeah, that's whatever. But if a woman, for a male, if a woman messages a male and is like, oh yeah, I want to suck your cock, and the male
and you're
responds,
like, oh yeah, wink face, like,
yeah, or the male responds with, oh well, here you go, and sends a picture, yeah,
yeah,
it's all about the response. But
that would be bad.
if you're not responding, or if you respond in the most generic, oh thank you kind of way, like
Yeah,
there's nothing to be worried about.
Yeah, and she's like, there was one woman that was from Georgia, and she's like freaking out. She's like, "Oh my god, this woman from Georgia." I was like, "What do you think is gonna happen?" Oh, you're gonna leave me for her. I was like, me and all of my money is gonna pack my ass up and go to Georgia from
Across
right,
Alaska. I don't
country, yeah,
fucking think so. I
no
don't.
thank you.
No, I can barely handle you. The fuck do you
right.
think? The fuck,
I think
what?
that a lot of guys have said that, like, no, I
Yeah.
can barely handle one.
Mm-mm.
Right, I can
I,
barely handle one and all your issues.
there has
Yeah,
to be a really fucking special kind of person to be able just to pick your shit up and go across the country to be with someone.
dude,
Yeah.
I've definitely
Someone,
known people who've done that.
yeah, like to just drop everything. Like you've maybe met
That no,
once or twice. Yeah, no.
if at all.
If at all, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I packed my shit up and moved across the country, but it wasn't because of that. It was because I had to get the fuck away from
Yeah.
her.
Well,
It,
that's
it
a whole
wasn't for a
different
woman.
thing.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it
no.
wasn't for like moving across the country and just to see like
And
current girlfriend.
I'm fully convinced now if I stayed there that I would catch some charges. Because
Oh
her
my
her
god.
her boyfriend like loved to get mouthy and sent me a text that said, "I think I showed you this, Vanessa, where he said
Yeah.
thanks for your wife."
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
What?
Oh
Yeah, yeah. While I was here, and I was like, "Oh,
Holy
oh,
shit.
homie." I was like, bro, you wouldn't say that shit to me to my face
yeah.
if I was there, because I would rock your shit. The motherfucker didn't even have the balls when he showed up to my house after she left to get out of the car. He like stared at the back seat. I'm aggressive. I'm super nice. I'm like chill, right? I do have an axe in my house, but I mean I'm not gonna use it on
Like,
And your dad
you.
is shooting guns right
yeah.
now.
Dad is shooting guns.
I was like,
Yosemite Sam.
if you pulled
Honestly,
up
I wish I could go outside like in my
and walked out
backyard
the
and
house
start
and just
shooting
had
guns.
2 guns flying, like,
Yeah.
here, motherfucker.
I think going shooting is fun.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: is like both of her and her 21-year-old friend and that dude are like twigs. I'd break them and like.
She fucked him too.
She
Fucked him too.
probably did. She probably
Yeah,
did. She
she did.
probably did. It's fine. He got out of the truck like cross arm like this. It's like, what are you gonna do?
You're gonna blow him out like a candle, and he's gonna fall over.
I was like, I'll go like this, and you'll break every bone in your body. I'm
It
5'5" on a good day, but still, I'm a little beefy. Like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna
yeah,
fuck you up, homie.
that is hilarious. I will say I don't love meeting exes and things. Like when I met my like my current ex's ex-wife, I was not prepared to meet her. I didn't realize I'd be. And he was like, "So you might as well meet her." I was like, "No, I am not prepared for this shit." And yeah, my knee was like really bad. I had hurt my knee like so bad. It was this knee, surprisingly, in a boating accident. He had to like slow down because there was like either we'd be going over a sandbank and getting stuck and we'd have to push it, or he had to like turn really quick, but he didn't tell me. And my drunk ass fucking flew off my seat, smashed down 3 freaking times.
Oh
At
my
the
God.
third time, I was like, no, I'm just sitting down here now. I was like, no. My knee was cut open. I have this huge bump on my knee still because it calcified, and now it's like this massive lump, huge scar. My leg was piss poor in blood, and I could barely walk. Then I had to get out and meet her and her sister.
Mm.
And I'm nice, so I was like, I just didn't want to. I wanted to just sit there and ignore the fact that they were there because I wasn't ready. But you know, it's fine.
And I think, at least when it comes to, you know, meeting the new partners, when there's kids involved, it's always there's
It's
always going to
mandatory
be
though. That's the thing.
There's always going to be tension though.
I feel like personally, I feel like it's mandatory. I don't have kids. I went and got my tubes tied. I was just having none of it. I just wanted to have, you know, sex without worrying.
Well, I also think it's the mentality too, right? Especially for men, because we got to be like, oh, macho, I'm dad. I mean, like, okay, I mean that's fine. Like my girlfriend, she has a daughter. The father's almost non-existent in the kid's life, but if he ever came around, I'd be like, hey, dude, I got a daughter of my own. I understand if I touch your daughter in any kind of way that is derogatory, you beat the shit out of me. Get it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to macho. You don't have to pop your chest out because all I gotta do is kick you in the knee and you're done.
Yeah.
Let's spare the pain. Let's spare the pain.
No, yeah, I completely get that. I think it's usually just awkward, and I'm like not a social person, so for me it's like it's fine. I'm friendly. I shake hands, laugh, haha, but then like I'm mortified once I get back into the vehicle. You know?
And I think for women it's different when it comes to kids, because like me, it's like, don't play mother to my child. You're not her mother. You never will be her mother. You can take care of her when she's in your presence, but other than that, you're nothing to her.
And that's what I hated, because you want to know why? I was never allowed to have the stepmother title. I was a step parent because, I mean, I get it. I am not their mom, but I love them like my own. And I think
absolutely.
Even though that is the technical title, I don't use it myself. But it was just the fact that I was told like no. And
yeah, I mean, if you want to,
which I also think is a pet peeve.
Because if you want to be called stepmom, yeah, I'll cross that bridge when I have to. But
yeah, I think it's just
there's
more people to love their child. I think that's more of like a beautiful thing. If you're not going to be with the other parent and be like the original family, I really do think, things need to be.
There's just some women that I have crossed paths with who like cross that boundary of step parent, and they you know, try to force the child to be like, oh no, you call me mom in my household. And it's like, no. Or they try to coerce the children.
That's a no.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean by that. And it's like, not everyone's the same like in that standpoint, but I think there's too many women out there who do cross that boundary.
Oh, completely. Yeah, I've had that conversation before. I'm like, no, I'm Vanessa. I'm your Vanessa. That's what it is. Like, you can have your dad, mom, and your stepdad, I'm your Vanessa. Like that's what I'm cool with. I'm Vanessa, you know?
Right.
My ex's
Um,
kids call me dad, and like I told them, I said, look, I don't want you to call me dad unless you absolutely want to. Like,
yeah.
I didn't give birth to you. I didn't do all the actions to get you here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but
I did not participate.
I didn't participate. I was not a
You
participant.
you are not my swimmer.
Right, right. You did not win my race. Okay. So, all right. So if you feel like calling me dad, that's up to you. And they
Yeah.
did. And that was, I mean, that was an honor. It was an honor.
I
But
was
like
gonna say that
Right.
must have been like
yeah,
fantastic.
because they trusted me enough to call me dad.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same with my girlfriend's daughter. If she decides one day to say that, then that's cool. If not,
Yes.
I'm
Yep.
not going to be hurt by it. You can call me Sean. Don't call. I mean, you can call me anything you want. Gimli. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. So,
Mother, she'll
growing
end
up,
up
I
calling
was
you
also.
motherfucker.
Oh my
Probably,
gosh.
probably.
Yep.
So,
Mhm.
growing up, my mom was a single mom, and the only relationship that she actually had, we were younger, and we were like, so what do we call him? And of course, she was like, you can call him by his name. You can call him Mr. Magoo. And I was like, that's it. His name is Mr. Magoo. I remember that. That's the only nickname. She's like, you can call him this, you can call him this, you can call him Mr. Magoo. And I was like, that's it.
That's it. He's
Mr.
Mr.
Bean.
Magoo.
Yeah.
Mr. Bean.
There's a dude on TikTok that looks like Mr. Bean. He's awesome.
Yes, I've seen
There
him.
is. And there's also a girl that looks like she could be Bean's daughter. She's like really
Mhm.
into makeup. Her name is Fabiola. She looks like the fake Bean on TikTok, and
Mhm.
her did a video together, and they look like Bean and his daughter. It's so crazy. And then there's a woman, Heather Shaw, who looks like Jim Carrey
Yes.
I see
Yes.
completely. That's
I
just like sidetracked.
I showed you the guy that looked like Floki on Vikings.
Yes, I followed him, and it just keeps coming up. He totally does.
He's great. Good guy.
Loki.
Yep.
It's
Great guy.
Vikings TV show. I like Vikings.
We like Vikings.
Yeah.
Actually,
I am so into the whole
my
Viking
God.
shows and it's so fun. And so that show, of course, there was this crazy Viking, and his name is Floki, which of course I like that name because my cat's first of all is Loki. But
Loki.
Crazy thing, the guy that plays Floki is the brother of Bill Skarsgård, the guy that played Pennywise in It.
He's a Skarsgård, really?
He is. That's why they sound the same. I never made the connection until I looked up the credits and I seen that his name is Gustav Skarsgård, and I was like, no, what? No.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I know.
No.
Oh my God, that's crazy. I've definitely looked into the Skarsgård family because I do enjoy them. I think they're unique, and they I think they're just all very talented. And that's crazy. That makes total sense now.
Yeah, it threw me off because like I used to do the Pennywise voice, the hello Georgie.
I love it.
Clown, right? And then I would do Floki. I'd be like, hello Ragnar.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
and I'm
so
like,
fun.
they sound the same. They're brothers.
You know what? Now that you've like done the voices, and I can go back in my head. Oh, totally. That makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. That's crazy.
The normal one out of all three is Alexander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was even in the Vikings movie, so I mean.
Yeah, he's
not
done
so
a lot.
normal anymore. He's not so normal anymore.
Yeah, but
I've seen him dick down a woman on a movie. He's not normal anymore.
Oh my God.
I've seen him turn into a wolf. He's not normal to me anymore.
No, I guess not. That would definitely turn me off too. Frick. I'm trying to still think of more pet peeves actually.
Well, what went wrong in both of your last downfall relationships?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh man. So I've told Vanessa this, but with the exception of one, every
Mhm.
woman I've been with has cheated on me. And that's a shitty thing to come to realize.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like, okay, what did I do wrong?
Mhm. When
And then
it's not you.
it's not me, right?
Mm-mm.
So my first one that went awry was um I was in the middle of a mental health crisis, as well as like trying to take care of myself. I had traumatic brain injury, all kinds of crazy shit was going on. I was trying to rediscover who I was. One of my many rediscoveries. I was taking care of myself, but in the process of taking care of myself, I wasn't taking care of things at home. And so life at home became shitty while I was
Mhm.
taking
Mm-hmm.
care of myself.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
she got, I never asked her to be a stay-at-home mom. She decided to go get a job at the courthouse, started getting friends.
Yeah.
I was fine with that. Started going out with friends, going clubbing. She'd come home at like fucking 3 and 4 in the morning. Next thing I know, she's gone all weekend. Yeah. And then she comes out and says, "Oh, do you want to be in an open relationship, open marriage?" I said, "No,
No,
no,
Jesus.
fuck no." Well, then I was like, "You cheated."
Yeah. You know when they bring that to the table, like, "Oh yeah, let's be in an open marriage," when it was never discussed prior to the marriage. Yeah, no, they cheated.
No.
No.
Yep. Yep.
That. Oh.
That's the worst feeling in the world is
Yeah.
when you get
Oh
presented
my
with that.
god.
Yep. And then so I said no because like I said I didn't want it. Whatever she wanted to do, if that's going to make her happy, go for it. And then she would come home and brag about these dudes that she was with. And I was like,
What the
I'm
fuck?
I'm like, so you're out here doing things with different dudes that you and I
Mhm.
were doing together and have been doing together. Like that makes me feel great. And then she went and fucked somebody. Like my only thing was like, if you're gonna do this, one, use protection. Two, don't fuck any army dudes because we live on an army base.
Right.
Yeah.
9 chances out of 10, I know them because of
Mhm.
my
Yeah.
rank. She fucked an army dude that I knew that I worked with at one of my other duty stations, and he knew who my wife was.
Mhm.
And
I
then
mean,
that's where I drew the line.
that's I mean, not to say that it's the standard, but I mean, a lot of army men and women, anyone in the service, they cheat
Yeah.
fucking a lot.
Hmm.
And it's such fucked up because, it might be one of your soldiers, it might be one of your commanders. And, that shit, you can't keep that as a secret. That shit comes out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The shitty thing is, the day that she went and did all this with him,
Hmm.
I was talking to him earlier that day about all of it,
Hmm.
and I had brought it up, and I said, "She's out here doing this." I told her this is our standard. I even showed him a fucking picture. He said nothing. So I called him, and I called him the next morning. I said, "If you
Hmm.
show your face around my office, I'm beating the piss out of you." I said,
Yeah.
"I'm not coming," because he can get in trouble for that. I
Right.
said, "I said I'm not coming after your career. I'm going to come after your head." And he
Yeah.
never showed his face again.
Good. Oh.
Yeah.
Pussy. But the second
Yeah,
relationship,
pussy. Yeah, I would say that because.
yeah,
Yeah.
God damn. Yeah.
Um, but the second marriage, honestly, I don't know where it went wrong. To be honest, like, you know, this was the marriage that I got sober in. This was the marriage that I went through my recovery in. This was the marriage that I advocated for her to take care of herself and physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And the last year of us being together, I was hyper fixated on not fucking up the home life because I had been there before. And so I was doing everything. I was cleaning the house. I was, making sure that I showed up to every one of the kids' functions, making sure if I
Yeah.
made a promise, I stuck to it.
Hmm.
Um, while I was maintaining my recovery,
Yeah. That's
started my
fantastic.
started my podcast, ran my podcast. I
Hmm.
was doing my outreach stuff. Next thing I know, she's telling me she's not happy, and then the next day she doesn't want to be married anymore. The next day she has a house. The next day she's moving out. Like
Whoa.
span of 4 days over a weekend, right? Like literally the week after Thanksgiving,
Mhm.
4 days, boom, done. And she sold my dog. She took all
That
my
nope.
She took
Mm-mm.
everything out of the house. She left me with a small ass TV. Mind you, she gave away my TV. She left me with a small ass TV to play fucking Xbox on. I mean, not that it matters, but she took everything, dude. Everything that could have brought me joy. She emptied the fucking fridge and the freezer. Took the car. Like I literally was on survival mode for a week and a half. Like
Mhm.
rationed out my food. I wasn't sleeping. All that shit.
Mm.
And she would feed me like these little crumbs of hope, and I was like grabbing onto it.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then, one of my best friends was like, dude, you got to get the fuck. Mind you, here's a kicker. When she did all this was like literally the next day after I paid all the bills, because that was my job in the house, to pay all the bills. Left me
Mhm.
Yeah.
broke. I could not escape that. I couldn't escape my reality. I couldn't buy a plane ticket because I was so broke. I had enough money to get gas if she decided to let me use the car.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I was on survival mode for a week. Like I ate one time a day, a pack of ramen a day. Um,
Yep.
and,
Been
and
there.
like I lived on my phone,
Mhm.
meaning like I was texting people, calling people, trying to like get different insights into all this.
Mhm.
I would go to bed at like 4 in the morning and wake up at 6 in the morning just because I couldn't sleep. I was barely drinking water. I didn't want to do anything but lay in this fucking beanbag that I had in an office because I couldn't stomach sleeping in my room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my best friend Sean was like, dude, I can't see you in this situation. I can't watch you self destruct like this. I don't want you to relapse. I said, well, I'm not going to relapse, but I'm definitely not right in the head. And he
Mhm.
bought me a plane ticket to get the fuck out of there, gave me spending money. He put me in first class.
Oh
And
wow.
Mm.
yeah, I got here and like everything changed.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And you managed to not really self-destruct. Like
Mhm.
you managed to stick to your recovery, and that's fucking fantastic.
Well,
Mhm.
I seen a lot of the old habits that I would do when I would leave a relationship or a relationship would end, and that would be like me like getting instant gratification. So either getting drunk, getting high, going fucking different women, just doing what I wanted to, being really self destructive. And I
Mhm.
realized that this time I didn't want to do that because this time, like every other time, it led down the wrong path. And like,
Right.
when my second marriage failed, I had a suicide attempt, and that was rough, and the
Mhm.
recovery in that was rough. And I didn't want to get to that point because
Mhm.
I definitely could have projected myself seeing myself get to that point. And so I literally just grasped to everything I knew. And I was like, okay, if it's going to help me and it's not going to give me instant gratification, it's going to give me something to work on and focus on, I'm going to use it. So I was reaching out. I was going to meetings. I said fuck AA meetings, but I ended up going to AA meetings because they helped me out. I went to a whole bunch of different other meetings. I mean, I started praying. I don't pray. I'm Norse pagan. I don't pray to God. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I was like, if somebody's up there and you're listening,
Fucking
help
help
me out.
me.
Help me. And, and literally everything I asked for came true, but I was asking for all the wrong things. So like I was like, please let her call me, and then she'd call me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I was really just hurting myself. And then I had a weird spiritual experience, and that something happened in that, and I was just like, weird. I'm not intoxicated. I'm not high, so this is weird. This is not for.
Yeah.
Mm,
And
but
I think with those types of relationships, we're so not fascinated, maybe even obsessed with the thought of staying together and ignoring the red flags, ignoring the things that, we just want that person back so bad that we're literally willing to hurt our own mental health to make that happen.
oh yeah,
I saw on a TikTok that it's actually mourning the fact that you thought you found the one, and
Mhm.
that was supposed to be your person. Now it's like, well, you're disappointing yourself because you thought that was the one, and really, yeah.
Yep.
So you're just mourning the fact that it's not really the person or even the memories. It's you're mourning the fact that you wanted the one and
Mm-hmm.
you thought that that person was, and they're not.
And all the things that were promised, all the things that ended up not
Coulda, shoulda,
happening.
would have
Yeah,
been type
it's.
deal.
I think it's more of the thought of what would have your future looked like had you stayed with the person, more than looking at the past, looking at the actual experience of it.
Yeah, you know, Vanessa, remember my psychic friends I was telling you about?
Yeah.
Everything that they've told me since that point
Mhm.
on has been like to a goddamn T, right? So I have two psych friends and two psychic friends, and they both told me that my ex-wife was cheating on me before I even had suspicions. I said no, don't fill my head with bullshit. And
Mhm.
then when I got here and I was like, okay, let's figure it out. They were like, she's cheating on you, blah 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 blah. And I said, well, if this is true, like, give me a name or identify a picture. One gave me a name, the name of the guy that I thought it was,
Yep.
and they don't know her from Adam. And then
Yeah.
I sent three separate pictures to my other psychic friend, and she was like, "It's him, the exact same guy." And I was like, "Huh,
Hmm.
okay, yeah." And so my female psychic friend was like, "Look, dude, like she's going. If you don't jump off this train now, shut the door, what have you, she's going to destroy you."
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, emotionally, physically, all
Mhm.
that. She was like, it's better just shut that door. So I did.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, now that the door's shut, I'm gonna give you a little something to look forward to. I was like, oh God. Because I had sworn off women. I said, I'm not fucking around with women. I don't want nothing to do with them. I don't trust no woman.
Mhm.
None of that. I did the whole all or nothing thinking, and then she was like, the person you're meant to be with is like lives in your hometown that you grew up in. And my hometown that I grew up in is like 20 minutes from where I live now.
No
And
shit.
I went on Tinder because I wanted to talk to people. Like I didn't want. I know no. I literally know
Fucking hate
nobody in this.
Tinder.
Uh, yeah, it can be evil. And I was like, I knew nobody in the area. I wanted friends, even if it was like, hey, I'm having a bad day. Can you talk to
Mhm.
me?
Yeah.
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 So this woman matches me, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. And then she messages me first, which I was like, I'm not messaging any
I am
women.
not a messaging first
Mm.
person. I'm like, bitch, you come to me.
I have messaged so many males and I get no response. So I fucking deleted the app and was like, I'm done. Fuck this.
No, I let them
She,
come to me.
she messaged me first, and I was like, okay. And she's like, well, I don't get on Tinder much, so like, here's my phone number. I was like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not looking for anything right now. I just got out of a shitty relationship. I'm not gonna reach out to you. If you so choose to talk to me, here's my number.
Hmm.
Like literally, boom. As soon as that message was sent, text, hey, this is so and so, and I was like, oh, hey, what's up? And we got to talking, and I'm like, or no, she was like, where do you live? And I told her, and she was like, oh, that's not too far from me. I said, well, where do you live? And she said, Sharpsburg. Dude, nobody, not a, the people that live in Sharpsburg are married or old.
Ah,
And I'm like, that was my hometown too.
No shit.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm gonna see how this works out. And like I literally took my list of like
Hmm.
everything that I put down as what I wanted in a partner. And when we started talking about it, I was like, yep, 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 yep. She's successful. She has her own career. She's educated. She goes to counseling. She's working on herself. She has a kid. She doesn't have baby daddy drama. I mean, she got some drama, but it's not like anything that I can't handle. She's
Hmm.
mentally stable. And she's very family oriented, and she wants to get to meet my family, get to know my family. Like literally just the laundry list of characters or characteristics that like I
yeah.
wanted. She just boom, 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 boom. And I was like, all right, you know what? Like I'm
Hmm.
I'm not gonna deny any of this, but I'm gonna be weary. I have not found a red flag. And dude, I have searched. I've searched.
Yeah.
hmm I've been like,
Oh, so good.
shitty human beings will be shitty human beings, and in time you will show yourself. And she hasn't.
Oh.
You're just waiting for that. Damn, you cut your toenails the wrong way.
Well, so what she perceives to be like off-putting sometimes from her perspective. What she does, is acceptable by me, right? We all have our days and we have our
Oh yeah.
moments where we just need the world to shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
Hmm.
right? And it typically hers happens on her day when she has therapy, and so like we'll be in the car and we'll be driving somewhere, and like her kid will be in the background, mom, 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 and she's like, I need 5 minutes for everybody to shut the fuck up,
Hmm.
and that's my sign. Okay, I'll be
Yeah.
quiet. And then she's fine. She's like, I'm sorry for being a shitty human being. I was like, you weren't. You needed quiet time. We all need it.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to point out that I think that's fantastic. I think even getting used to your partner and actually wanting to pay attention to their cues and things that they may not even realize that they do, and like giving them the space that they need, and like just knowing them and knowing what they may need at that point, even if it is just like, oh, shut the fuck up, I'm gonna give you your space and you'll come to me when you're
Hmm.
feeling better. But it's a lot of people, in my opinion, don't like to listen. They just go by what they think, or what they've
Yep.
been used to, and I don't think that's quite right. I think you should be open to learning about each and every partner that you have, because everyone is an individual, everyone is different, and in every aspect, from like even learning when to shut the fuck up to bedroom things, and
Hmm.
everything in between. I think that's something that a lot of people should.
My final pet peeve, I guess, and I just thought of this. She does it. I haven't told her. I'm actually gonna message her because she kept asking, "What are your pet peeves?" I hate the saying "I'm sorry."
Oh, really?
I'm gonna tell you why. I
Okay.
hate it. I hate it because in my active addiction, I said I'm sorry so many
So many
times
times.
that it lost its weight. Right, much like I love
Mm,
you. I
Hmm.
love you
yeah.
is another phrase that is used way too much, way too often, with zero feeling behind it.
Hmm.
And so for me, like I don't hate I love you because I only use it when I feel like I need to use it and how I need to use it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I don't use that anymore. I use I apologize, or I'll work. I'll do better next time, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
She says I'm sorry all the time, all the time. Like even when it's not warranted, she's like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm
Hmm.
like, what's gonna happen when something happens and you have to say you're sorry?
I
That's true.
I think that also comes because I don't think I do it as much anymore, but I have done it. I did it for many years. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It stems from something traumatic that had happened, whether it was her parents, a sibling, whatever, something that was not her fault whatsoever,
Yeah.
something that she had no control over, but because of how we're
She
programmed or
felt.
whatever, we feel the
Mm-hmm.
need that we have to apologize regardless of the situation.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, but she'll apologize for like her personal preferences. I'm like, why? That's what you like.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here to change you. I'm not here. I'm just here
Yep.
to fit into your schedule when you have time,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
right? Like, I'm not trying to take your life over. I'm trying to
Yeah.
be an addition to it.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that comes with, once she finally gets comfortable and knows that she's constantly getting that reassurance from a partner, it definitely eases that need to apologize for everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and so,
Retraining your brain.
yeah. I'm
Mhm.
gonna say I have a pet peeve.
her
She has a
her one and only red flag.
yeah. Well, I mean, not even a red flag.
It's not even
Right.
a red
It's
flag.
not
It's
even a
more
red flag.
like it. You can tolerate it, but it's like, meh, meh,
Yeah, it's not nails
I
on a
get it.
chalkboard yet.
Right.
Yeah.
It's it's
See,
not.
I'm Canadian, so I say I'm sorry a lot, and even from like all of the trauma that I've had, I've definitely been conditioned to apologize constantly. But I'm still Canadian. If I
Mhm.
bump someone in the grocery store, oh, I'm sorry, like, and they could bump into me, and I still say I'm sorry, because like I
For
feel like we just say I'm sorry a lot.
I think for me, it kind of flipped. I mean, granted, I've always done this, but now it's more so than ever. I have an emotional breakdown and I cry. I just cry at everything now.
I love crying.
Oh,
I
I
only
just
cry in certain songs.
What's the song?
Don't. I'm not gonna tell you.
because then we're gonna go and play it for him.
I'm not gonna tell you. No. There's a few country songs. There's a song by this guy named Jimmy Wayne. It's called "I Love You This Much," and pretty much talks about the father-son dynamic. You know that song,
Mm.
father and son dynamic, about how the father was never around, the son suffered because of it. And now because they're older and the dad's dead, he hates the dad, but he's remorseful.
Yep.
Yeah, that one always got to me because I mean, my dad and I hadn't always had the best relationship. It's a good song. There's a few other songs if I listen to them and I'm in the right mood.
I could think of two that make me cry.
Mm.
And that's Be Kind by Halsey.
Mm.
Because it's just saying, like, be kind to the one that you love. It hits me in a way, just from like my last relationship. It just hits me. As soon as I put it on, I just cry. And gosh, what is this? It's a song by Eminem. And it was mostly what the fuck is it called? I want to say Mockingbird. That's not Mockingbird. Now I've got to Google Eminem songs because
I think
I
Vanessa's only gonna know my crying song, and it's "Good to You" by Marianas Trench.
Oh yeah,
always got me right in the heart.
I got the second one that makes me cry.
The Eminem song. The reason why it makes me cry is after my mom died. That was the song that played, and it said, "I didn't feel a thing, so baby, don't feel like I didn't feel a thing," or something like that. Just smile back, and like that, just immediately it just started making me cry. But I don't remember what that song was called.
Look up the lyrics on Google. You'll be able to find it.
I am. I was doing it right as he said it.
I love all forms of music, and "Scars That I'm Hiding" by Ashes to New, or From Ashes to New. Yep. God, that song rocked me. Like,
When I'm Gone. Sorry,
it's a good song.
There's another one.
Like I dropped my girlfriend off at work on Saturday, and like I was driving back, and I had my random TikTok playlist going on, and then that song popped up, and I was like, "Oh, this is good." And I went back and repeated it. I was like, "Oh, this makes me feel feelings I don't want to feel." And then I played it back again. I'm like, "Oh fuck!" Ugly crying in my car.
Okay, so the lyrics. And when I'm gone, just carry on. Don't mourn. Rejoice every time you hear the sound of my voice. Just know that I'm looking down on you, smiling, and I didn't feel a thing. So, baby, don't feel no pain. Just smile back. That gets me every time. The song is totally about him and his daughter, but it just made me bawl. Really close to my mom. We just sat there crying. Oh, and another one. It was the stupidest song by Miley Cyrus, like Butterflies or Butterfly Fly Away. And we just sat there bawling at like old Miley Cyrus, like just post Hannah Montana. And it was so funny. But yeah, those are the songs.
The other one for me is You're Not Alone by Seosin. And it's all about, mental health and suicide, and basically like you are not alone, but in certain times we do feel alone. So that one, because a dear friend of mine, Vanessa, you might remember him, Brooklyn from Secret Rev.
Yeah, I just what?
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Do you remember Brooklyn?
Yeah, no, I'm just like, wait, what's going on? Because yes, I remember Brooklyn, but what's happening right now? Am I getting news that this person is no longer here?
Not that I know of, but he did a cover of it for me.
Okay.
And it was so emotional.
You scared me for a second.
But I haven't had contact with him in a couple of years, so, and I know he was struggling himself, so I'm not positive. And I don't know if we can get in touch with any of his friends, because I know everybody from that band kind of like.
Just tell your mom, she can fucking find him.
Well,
Pamela's the OG FBI, man.
He's in Vancouver.
I
Alright.
mean,
There's another song that fucked me up, but it's gonna throw you off by who I
Okay.
say it's by.
okay.
Britney Spears.
Okay, sorry.
No.
Which one?
There's a super sad song. I don't remember the name of it, but the video is almost like an overdose video where she is in a tub and she like overdoses and they
Oh,
take
yeah.
her away.
Hold on.
Fuck. Yeah.
What is that song?
I'm
What, Ashley's searching.
It
It's not
is a
bother. She
piano.
knows exactly. Yes.
every time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, that song fucks me up.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not listening
Oh,
to it.
I can see that. Yep.
And every time I touch.
Yep.
Yep.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I forgot I have a volume level thing on.
Mute button.
I do too. Honestly, I forget. I just start clicking mute on this.
I do too. It's
the clickies. Yeah, I know it's this side, but I have to like feel around.
I
There's
muted
one
you.
button. Oh,
hello.
Yeah.
hi.
Ah, you're back. I was pressing buttons and I muted you and I couldn't get you back.
No, and then when my ex and I split up, I fucking got to this point where I looked at every song that was our song and I was like, "Fuck you,
that.
Louis! Fuck you, Louis Capaldi!"
Ah! Yes.
Not
like-
Louis Capaldi. He's my ultimate breakup man.
Yeah.
And like who's the other guy? There's another
There's
guy.
a guy
Ed
named
Sheeran.
Connor Maynard, and he's from the UK. And there's some like he
Fucking
does
Charlie
YouTube
Puth.
shorts, and he's like the king of like sad breakup songs because he's like going through a breakup, so he's like super emotional.
Fucking
And
Charlie Puth. That motherfucker.
Charlie Puth. Oh, there's another dude. I'm trying to think.
Ed Sheeran.
No, I like Ed Sheeran. Ed
Okay.
Sheeran's solid. No, well, okay. In the right mood. That song, "I See Fire."
Mm-hmm.
That was actually on Lord of the Ring or on The Hobbit. Didn't know that.
Yep.
That song, the first time I heard it, I had it on repeat for 24 hours, and I cried for 24 hours.
I love it.
I'm an emotional dude. All right.
Okay, you want to know what gets me? Not even music. It's anything to do with animals that are upset that their human died. Like there's this one video of a German Shepherd on a grave, and it's like, that I can't watch it.
Right to the heart.
It's giving me chills thinking about it, honestly.
Dude, and 3 Libras by Perfect Circle.
I don't know that one. What is that one? Hang on.
It talks essentially it talks about a man or a partner seeing the other person for who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And then but that person doesn't see them for who they are, doesn't recognize or doesn't notice. That song fucks me up.
I have it up there, so I'm gonna listen to it after.
It's a good song.
That's
Maynard's the man.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I love sad songs, honestly. I'm totally like one that's like, if I'm like in a sad mood and I know I just can't get out of it, I'm gonna pour a glass of wine and like turn on Taylor Swift or what's
Taylor Swift.
She's like the OG, like fucking all of her shit. But there's I gotta find it. I am sucking with titles.
Freaking
like Rascal something or other.
Hold on.
Rascal Flats, is that a thing?
Oh, Rascal
There's
Flats.
There's a song that I'm trying to find that I'm pretty sure I already passed it. But I'm just going through my playlist because there's a lot of sad songs on there.
Freaking Kelsey Ballerini's fucking new EP, her divorce EP. Holy shit, that woman.
I heard.
I've listened to the whole thing like multiple times and it's so fucking real.
No, okay, I got another song. I Wish Grandpa's Never Died. It's a country song by Riley Green. Mm-hmm. And it's because like I told
Vanessa froze.
I want my grandpa.
She froze in the middle of the yell. She's like, ah.
It looked like she was sucking
I
dick for a
know.
minute.
You're right.
I wish I was.
Callum
The fuck
Scott.
is this song?
Callum Scott, you are the
That's a
reason.
good one.
Fuck you, Callum
Yep.
Scott. Fuck you, Callum Scott.
Yep.
Okay.
That was my wedding song. Fuck you, Callum
Oh.
Scott.
Oh no. Okay, so fun story. The song Amazed by Lone Star, that was like my jam. I love that song. It's beautiful. And then I was put it on one day and my ex was like, that was my ex-wife's and I wedding, like that was our wedding song. And I was like, you just ruined it. So we were sitting in the car with, we were sitting in the vehicle with his kids in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And that song came on and I immediately went, and I just went next. He and I were pissing our pants laughing. But God damn. Oh, What Hurts the Most by Rascal Flatts.
Yeah.
That gets me too.
Fuck.
Because I think you can relate to that one too, Sean.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Sarah
And
Evans.
there's another one.
A little bit stronger.
Fuck, I'm
That
going through my
song.
playlist and realizing.
That Sarah Evans a little bit stronger fucks me up still.
There's a few songs.
I feel like
I
I
don't
know what that one is.
I don't know if you watch Yellowstone. But,
no.
Oh God, their soundtrack is
I
amazing.
haven't, but I know a lot about it.
They have a lot of folk music, like folk country music on there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a song that is called where is it? No Horse to Ride. And it just pretty much talks about a man or a woman leaving a man and he feels like lost. It's like the chorus is like I'm like a drunk without a drink to drink. I'm like I'm a guitar with broken strings. Something else, and then it's like I have no, or I'm like a cowboy with no horse to ride. I'm like, that's so pretty.
I love music. Honestly, music is very soothing.
Mm-hmm.
I think even in my own personal relationships, like I've connected with past partners based on music, and just like even if they knew a song that I thought no one knew, or like not no one knew, because like first of all, one of my songs was Cocky by Kid Rock. But a lot of people that I know personally hadn't known this song.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember one of like my ex coming over and I was listening to music in my room and that song came on. And as soon as like he started singing along, it was like instant, oh my God, I need you. Like that.
I want your dick.
Yeah. And it was because like, it was just, I think connecting with music. So for me, relationships are a blessing or a lesson. And I think regardless, you should have no regrets, and everything in your life up to this point, you know, that's what makes you who you are. And I think that's quite beautiful. So I like looking back on like those good memories, even though, you know, people may suck, but they're good memories. So
I would never be Cash again. I would never be Cash again.
No.
Captain Save-A-Ho. Cash.
No.
Yes.
That's my only regret.
Bitch, you can go find someone else to save you.
Yeah.
Because I ain't.
Yeah.
Literally, our first encounter with my ex-wife was me having to save her physically. Yeah. Jesus. I mean, do you guys want that story?
Fuck yeah, I do.
Yeah.
All right. So because of the content of what happened prior to that, long story short, she got sexually assaulted by a guy. And she said, I need help. I mean, obviously I'm a dude and I'm like, I'm coming to get you. Right? And it was a night where we
shining armor.
Yep.
Yes.
Riding in the horse, everything.
Yeah. It was a night of a pub crawl, where it's a pirate pub crawl. Everybody dressed up like pirates.
Oh shit.
I dressed up like the Bone Doctor. Except for I had one of the doctors, like medieval doctor's mask with the long nose.
Yep.
And I had a walking cane, dude.
Those scare me, by the way.
Dude,
they really do.
I got the walking cane from Spirit of Halloween, and I was like, "Oh, this isn't gonna be heavy, bro." It was solid metal the whole way through. So So she said, "Come save me. This guy's hunting me down." I grabbed it and I was like, "Angel, my best friend Angel, he's a bodybuilder." I was like, "Angel, let's go." And he's like, "All right, let's go." So we jump in the car and we go. And we end up picking her up, bringing her back to the house, and that was technically our. She jumped my bones. I didn't do any of that.
You know
Yeah,
what?
I was literally Captain Sabo.
That you literally freaking were. Holy shit.
I thought you were gonna say you were dressed as Captain Jack Sparrow, and I'm like, really?
I would love that just to like walk
Really?
around like, you
Really,
know.
Captain Save-A-Ho.
I was Doctor Sabaho.
Doctor. Oh, I like that.
Doctor Sabaho.
Save me, doctor.
God
Oh,
damn.
God.
Well, I mean, you really should. Regardless.
If you're an actual doctor, please save your patients.
Some patients cannot be saved.
Well, that's true.
True.
Very true.
I've not it wasn't medical malpractice. It's just because my body is stupid. I almost died twice.
That's a good time.
Fun times. My body hates me.
Well, don't die a third time.
Old.
No, I'll try. Third time's the charm.
Oh, fuck.
Oh. No!
Dark humor. Love it.
Very mentally ill, dark humor.
You get around.
I do. Just
That was
not
nice.
in that sense.
I meant a round of applause, okay? Not like that. Jesus H.
In the words of me and Vanessa, come dumpster.
Touche.
So we usually, in at least every episode, except for episode 13, where we say "come dumpster" at least once during an episode.
Yep.
I can't believe we actually went in one episode without it. It's kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I still feel like I need to go like re-upload that one and just like "come dumpster" at the end, like
Edit it in. Yeah. Well, no, it's funny because like when people go back to listen or watch our podcast, it's like playing Simon Says, which episode doesn't have cum dumpster in it.
Now this one does.
True.
Now this one does.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's been said.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. On that note, I think we should end this thing and say I do. We're getting married apparently.
No, I do.
I was like, I do. I was like, man, that doesn't sound like a good idea.
I don't.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
I
exactly.
I object.
I'm ruining my own wedding here.
Yeah, if I ever get married, I'm gonna object to my own marriage.
Yeah. Oh God.
This person sabotaged me and they drugged me for 3 years.
Does anybody object to this marriage? Me. But you're the bride. I know, but I still object.
Fuck yeah. That's hilarious.
But I said I apologize. It's in the Geneva Convention.
Oh my God. All right. So don't forget to follow Ashley and I. What the fuck am I talking about? Jesus. On all
Volume down.
On all of the social media.
Karaoke, volume down.
Yeah, right. At 30 Flirty Podcast, except for one of them. It's 30 Flirty
YouTube.
Pod. Is it YouTube? No, it's Twitter. I think it's Twitter. Hang on. But anyways.
Yes, it's Twitter.
It's Twitter. See, there you go.
I'm looking at the bottom banner.
I know. That's what I was waiting for.
We have to read it as fast as it scrolls. Come on, go.
Fuck yeah, I know. Fuck, it needs to go faster. Anyways, Sean, please tell everybody where they can find you and all that good stuff.
You can follow me, Vanessa and Ashley at 30 and Flirty. No,
it's 30 Flirty.
And not thriving.
Dirty and not thriving.
Right.
We are not thriving.
Oh God.
Anyways, you can find me at Instagram. Sitting with Sean. You can find me at Facebook with Sitting with Sean or Sean Young, whatever you choose. I'm trying to figure out like how to not be a public figure because I'm not a public figure. So people can't add me.
I think I
Um,
went under creator.
Yeah.
By the way,
that's
just side
what
note,
I
I
did.
went under creator. We can talk about that after, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, my girlfriend was like, "Oh, I'm trying to find you on Facebook. I can only follow you." I was like, "Oh no, you have to add me as a friend."
you might have to add her.
Yeah.
Nah, we're already friends. She figured it
Oh.
out. I'm not tech
Dumbass.
savvy. I am a dumbass. But so my podcast is on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube under Sitting with Sean, where I just restructured everything. I should be getting a new intro video soon. It's gonna be super heavy metal. Super excited about that. But yeah, that's me.
Oh wait, hey,
And Late Night Live. I need guests on Late Night Live. There's my ugly mug. There we go. Man, look at that thing.
This is his logo. Look for that.
His
Yeah.
mugshot.
Yeah.
On the
my
Facebooks.
mugshot's great.
Right.
I don't even think I have a mugshot. I think they just said "fuck you" and threw me in jail.
Oh shit.
Nice.
And that's a
Yeah.
story for another night.
Yeah. Story for another night.
And on that note, thank you for listening, everybody, and you have yourselves a wonderful day, evening, morning, night, whatever the hell it is for you right now as you're listening. And we will see you in the next video and episode. Bye.
Bye.